Hey guys, I'm going to show you how I did the Sony MDR-7506 Detachable cable mod. First thing you gotta do is, these are our Bear Dynamic ETD 20V ear pads. These will make, it'll make the lows sound a little bit better in these headphones, but they will also have some noise leakage a lot more. So, to take these off, all you gotta do is put your middle finger underneath the top of the pad, and then you kind of twist it back and kind of pull it off. It's pretty easy. So then you'll get to these, and there'll be screw here, 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 and here. And you just unscrew those. I put them in a, bottle cap, whatever works. It's just a simple Phillips head screwdriver. So then what you want to do is you open this up, and there'll be a lot of wires here, obviously. What you want to start off with is there's two red wires next to each other. There's some that come from the headphones here. You want to clip the ones at this wire here. You want to clip those ones at the very base so you have as much wire as possible. It'll make your life a lot easier. So then there should be left a green, a red, and a copper wire. And you want to clip those as close to the end of the coil cable as possible so you have as much wire as possible again. I'm using the 3.5mm stereo panel mount jack from Fillmore LKG. What you want to do is you want to drill a hole right where the cord used to be with a 1/4 inch drill bit, and you should probably drill it from this way in. And there'll just be a lot of little excess plastic. You can take that off with pliers or something and clean it up. That's what I did. I did have to file this end a little bit. It didn't do too bad of cosmetic damage. A lot of the cosmetics right now for me is because I tried securing this with super glue, and I also tried uh, like a caulk for like, I don't know, it was supposed to be like for windows and stuff, but that didn't work out very well. I ended up having to, uh, scrape it all off. So don't do those two things. They don't work on this for some reason. Um, what you do is you take this mount jack and you put it through here, plugs first. That'll make it look a lot nicer, and it'll actually be easier because the jack is out more, so you won't have as much problem with right around here taking up too much cable space. So I secured this finally with hot glue, which surprisingly was the very best so far, and it was pretty easy. So what you want to do here is, if you look at the jack with the ground terminal at the top, that's the longest one. You want to solder the red wires onto the left or gold terminal. So you want to weld the one here and the one from the opposite headphone. And then you want to take the green wire from this cup and you want to put it on the right terminal. And then all the copper wires, you want to put those on the top or the longest terminal. That's the ground. Uh, yeah, I would recommend uh, taking these red wires from this and the original cup and twisting them together at the end. And the same thing with the copper wires. I've also ended up welding those together. So I welded the red one from here and the red one from here together. And I welded the copper, or not weld, soldered them together. And in the end, it made it a lot easier to secure them to the jack. I would recommend finding something to kind of prop this up like this. That will in general make your life a little bit easier, but You know, that's the hardest part about this project is just being able to get all the soldering done on the inside here. Other than that, you want to make sure you have a really good, I mean, use a lot of solder. As long as it's not touching the other terminals, that'll be fine. And it'll, you know, it'll work. You want to make sure you have a good secure connection because the first time I did this, I didn't have a good enough secure connection on one of the wires and it sounded all washed out. So I had to redo it. So, all right, so now you've got all that taken care of. Now you want to put these back together. I think the first thing I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to put together the top one because I noticed it looked like it clipped a little bit on the stereo other headphones wire here. So I'm gonna get that out of the way so it doesn't ruin anything. Now as you're putting these back together, you want to make sure there's little housings for the screws. You want to make sure they're in the right area. And back here. There we go. And you just screw them back in. It's nothing really too tough. The toughest part about this is just the welding. The soldering. Ugh. So yeah, it's a really worthwhile project, I think. I mean, this is like the third day I've had them maybe like this, and you know, I've been wanting to do this mod for a while, but I never had, you know, the equipment. This was my first time soldering, so it's, you know, not too great of quality soldering, but who cares? I mean, it worked, didn't it? So, I don't know what's going on here. Oh well. So, now you gotta put the, go over here and grab this. You gotta put the ear cup back on. This is also really pain in the butt. So what I do is I use this multi-tool. Yeah, this is it. We got this thing here. That works out pretty nicely to help me out. So you want to take these ear cups. This is another way you can put the new Dynamic ear pads on. And you want to take it and kind of push it down a bit. And you want to get the leather portion just into the groove here. And then I've been using my fingers to kind of push it up over the rim. Okay, and then you end up with something kind of like this, where it's not completely covered. So you want to give it a little bit of a twist, and then nothing happens. Then I grab my little handy dandy tool here, and I just kind of have it be forced underneath here. Obviously, you don't want to do this with really something too sharp. This is a pretty blunt thing. I don't know what it is. I think it's a can opener or something. And just get it all in there. Okay, so it looks like all around it's pretty nice. There we go. It's nice and secure. Like I said, all this cosmetic damage. Pretty much all my fault, just trying different ways to get it to be secured. So now that I've got this working, I'll show you it works. Grab this and plug it in here. And then you plug it in here. Like I said, see, there's not too much clearance here. Oh, maybe there is, but you know, you want as much as you can get. So then let me play something for you. You can hear it already. It's leaking a little bit, but so anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. Like I said, if you do it the way that I did, the stereo will be correct. I've tested it out online, and yeah, good luck. It's a pretty simple first project, I would say, if you've got the tools for it. So, go for it. I mean, it's not too expensive. I think overall I paid maybe $10 for all the equipment. So, yep, good luck.